Yes, it is. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021. The time is 1:02 p.m. This is a special meeting to discuss public transportation, and it's an update. Attending are Commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. Do we have any changes to the agenda? Hearing none. Our first item is integrated mobility innovation, but before we go into that, I'm going to ask Director Jody Beasy. Jody, did you want to speak?
I just want to give a brief intro,
Sure.
let you know that Tim Hibbard, who's going to be speaking on the IMI, is the Vice President of Development and Innovation at Passio. And as you all know, Passio is our intelligent transportation system provider, as well as our technology partner for our integrated mobility innovation project, which he's going to speak to. And then Chad Engel is the program manager for Kootenai County Public Transportation and is responsible for managing the daily operations of the county's public transportation system. Chad's responsibilities include the oversight and management of our intelligent transportation system, as well as working with Tim Hibbard on our IMI project.
Okay. So are we ready then for the first item?
We are.
Okay.
Yes.
Integrated mobility, IMI.
All
Chad?
right, Tim, we'll hand it over to you and we'll start the presentation.
Okay.
I'll take the metaphorical mic. Hello, Commissioners. Thank you for that introduction, Jody. Like she said, I am with Passio Technologies, and we're the technology provider for Citylink North, Kootenai Health, and Coeur d'Alene's Tribe Link Service. The history behind this project is that in 2019, Kootenai County submitted a proposal to the Federal Transit Administration and won a competitive bid for an integrated mobility innovation project. My goals today are to describe how a fully integrated transportation network can better serve your citizens' needs and to give a project update and expected timeline for next steps. Planning a trip in a non-integrated environment is tricky. Each provider presents their schedules and the rates slightly differently, so comparing transportation options isn't always apples to apples. If your trip happens to be longer or outside of first shift hours and therefore needs to combine multiple providers, that becomes very complicated to book. You would need to use multiple reservation apps and be sure to time the transfer between the providers correctly. These complications result in rider frustration and underutilization of transportation options. This means missed work, missed interviews, and missed medical appointments. Lack of transportation in the United States costs about $1 billion each year because of missed appointments to the healthcare system, I should say. Mobility as a service takes all the different data sources and multiple payment channels and packages it into a single rider-facing solution. The rider enters the trip information and mobility requirements like wheelchair or service animal, and the app is able to look at all the providers and present a list of options to complete the trip. Each rider will have personal preferences in the trip selection process. This can be cost, time waiting, or walking distance. The rider can sort the options based on the parameters that are most important to them. To build the network, transportation providers in the region will input their service area and hours into a single database. The transportation providers are motivated to use the network because they will see an increase in riders and will be able to make data-driven business decisions based on transportation demand for the entire region. Riders will be able to download the app from Google Play or Apple App Store, or if they prefer, they can use a web browser on their computer. For individuals that are unable to use a smartphone or a computer, they will be able to call the Citylink dispatch to book a ride. We also support mobility managers, so if a workforce development center wanted to book rides for employment transportation, they could do that through the app, or a reservation nurse could help a patient secure transportation when booking a medical appointment. Our apps will be fully accessible and easy to use. We have finished defining the open data standard that we will use to communicate between systems. It was important for us to pick a standard that is open so that third parties can easily access information in a known format. We are currently building the portal that transportation providers will use to input their service areas and building the app that riders will use to book trips. We expect this to be done by fall. Then we will enable the system to receive payments from riders and distribute those funds to the transportation provider. We expect that to be done by next spring. After that, the county will continue to grow the network to enhance coverage across the region. My contact and Chad's contact information is on this slide if anyone would like to reach out for more details. Thank you for the opportunity to present this, and I will take any questions at this time.
Thank you, Tim. Questions for Tim?
Yes, where is this being done elsewhere in the United States?
Tim, are you able to hear?
I wasn't
Okay.
able to catch the whole question, I'm sorry.
So Leslie is asking where in the United States has this been taking place? Where else?
So the idea of taking multiple transportation providers and putting them together, it's not really that unique. What's kind of unique about what we're doing is we're combining private and public transportation all in one. So we've talked with TriMet in Portland, and they've done this kind of in-house with all of their different transportation options. And there's third-party apps that also try to accomplish this, like the Transit app, for example, does a pretty good job of pulling in like GTFS from multiple feeds. But what we're doing is we're really handling it, kind of starting with the public transportation provider and making sure that's a really good first-class experience, and then using not really authority, but since they're a government body, they have more ability to create relationships with a transportation provider. So it's not like we're some third-party app that's trying to maintain all those relationships. We have kind of a leg up on, say, like the Transit app or some of these other apps. So to fully answer your question, I don't know if anyone's doing exactly what we're doing as far as mixing private and public, starting with the public. But there's other models that are doing bits and pieces that we're able to kind of learn from their mistakes, as well as understand the rider experience we're really trying to deliver.
Thank you.
So are there any risks inherent in this application?
Commissioner Chris is asking if there's any inherent risks associated with
Yeah.
this application.
As far as risks to a rider, or
Well, the thing is, you're integrating a lot of different functions in applications. So what I'm saying is when somebody downloads, if I understand it correctly, if there's something that, because you're, to some degree, you're creating a profile, right? So if I have a particular handicap, the app is going to address that. Is that correct? So basically, you're creating a profile.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any risk in doing that?
So with the profiles, each individual person will be in control of their rider profile
Okay.
as they're inputting and setting up their trips and determining where they want to go and how they want to set up their profile. So it'll be under the control of the passenger themselves as far as that goes. And then we're just going to direct them to the different transportation sources. And then they'll be able to take one form of payment, and then it'll disperse the funds out to the provider who made the transportation available.
Understood. Okay.
Yes.
I'm good. Thank you, Tim. Anyone else
Yeah.
with
And
questions?
I'll speak a little bit to personal information as well. You know, my company, before it was sold to Paraplane, we did paratransit and with medical transportation. So we know HIPAA, and we know how to be good stewards of personal identifying information, and we take safeguards on our server and our apps and the transportation layers to protect that personal and protected information.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. Bill, any questions?
No questions. Good presentation.
Leslie, you okay?
Yep.
Okay. Second item, bus shelter improvements.
All right.
Go ahead, Chad.
All right. Thank you, Tim. That
Thanks, Tim.
will be the finish of that portion.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Tim. All right. All right, I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to provide an update on our IMI project, as well as several other high-value public transportation projects that we're going to be working on as well. So mainly, we wanted to just reiterate our mission in public transportation as we strive for excellence in creating a community mobility system that is efficient, effective, and safe. Our main focus is to get our passengers to employment, education, healthcare, and recreation. So part of that is our strategic service plan. And currently, our system consists of 3 fixed route paratransit services within a 3/4 mile of our fixed route service. However, with the implementation of our regional mobility platform, individuals will be provided mobility options that complement our fixed route system. So our strategic service plan will enable us to build an urban-rural mobility framework and corresponding network designs to meet future transportation needs. So we'll be linking strategies, technology, innovation, and using our regional mobility application as the platform to enable and facilitate communication between mobility stakeholders. We will work with local jurisdictions and stakeholders to assess individual motorized mobility, public transport, walking, cycling, riding, and bike sharing. So we want to make sure that we know where we are now, but we have a goal of where we're wanting to get to and how we're wanting to change our mobility network. And so we're kind of out of order on that, on what we had on there, but that's going to be our strategic service plan is what we're working on that. The other update, Riverstone Transit Center Phase 2. We're looking to put a 600 square foot ground maintenance structure and approximately 65 parking stalls, and also a generator is planned to be installed as well on our Phase 2 of the Riverstone Transit Center.
How big is the structure again?
600 square feet.
20 by 30, okay. Yep.
So for our bus shelter improvements, we have 2 main projects that we're starting with at Panhandle Health and the stop at Celtice and Hutter. We're looking to upgrade with a shelter and a pathway behind those shelters as well to make more accessible and just a better general overall area there. We have partnered with jurisdictions on maintaining the bus stops, and part of the partnership is this map here, which is our Walkable Winter program. So we have partnered with, this one is in Post Falls, and they are keeping the pathways clear, and it's on their priority to have these walkable paths throughout the city. You might not be able to see very well, but in yellow is that walkable winter path, and it goes right along our bus route so that people can easily access the bus stops and make it so anybody can get to those as well. And then last is our bus storage and maintenance facility. We're seeking long-term solutions to our bus storage and maintenance needs. We are working with the KMPO on specific funding programs in order for us to obtain land acquisition and a maintenance facility. The pictures currently are where we have the buses at the gravel pit in Post Falls, which we partner with the Post Falls Highway District on that location currently. And I just wanted to thank you again, and we'll take any questions at this point.
Okay, so for bus storage, now that came up in discussions with the airport grounds or the KEC building. Help me out, guys.
Yes.
Is that the plan, to move the buses to that location for storage?
I will turn that over to Jody for that question.
Jody, go right ahead.
Oh, at this particular point in time, we did not know what the direction of the land on that particular, we don't know actually. I mean, we had initial conversations, as you know, and then we were told that we would have to wait, and then I don't know actually what we have going at this moment.
Okay, but is there any immediate need to move the buses from the current storage location?
We are running out of space.
There's not an immediate,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jody.
Go ahead, Jody.
We don't have an immediate need, but we do have a need, obviously, that will be more for us to be able to park the additional vehicles that we have coming in. And so it is something that we obviously would like to get underway sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Or at
Les-
least know, Chris, where we're going to go, because that would be a big issue.
Okay.
Sure. And Jody, I don't know if you're aware, but we've asked Corey Trapp and LCA to give
Yeah,
us a
good.
proposal to see what the best use of Kootenai County North is. It's our new name for KEC building. So I'll make sure that when we accept the proposal, that they contact you as well to find out what your needs are.
Oh, okay, that would be great. Thank you.
Super. Okay, so the bus shelter improvements, take me back. Okay, so how many are you contemplating?
Currently, we have these 2 locations, which are gonna be kind of the starting point for the design and how we're looking to proceed as we have those higher volume bus stops that are having a lot of passengers on and off for safety purposes and obviously accessibility purposes.
Okay, so the 2 locations are what? One was Hutter and Celtice?
Yes, Celtice and Hutter, we have the location, as you can see right here.
Okay.
It's just to the west of Hutter right here.
Okay.
And
And the second one?
Is right outside Panhandle Health.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Atlas, just so.
It's
south of
Atlas,
Honeysuckle.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, so the 600 square foot structure,
Yes.
and this is the maintenance structure,
Yes.
and that's going to be at Riverstone?
It is gonna be on Riverstone, and it's gonna be, I can take you back. So this is phase 2 on this section here.
Okay, go ahead.
So we are looking to construct the maintenance facility. We don't have exact plans, but somewhere in this area over here to the parking lot and everything is kind of where we'd be looking.
Okay, now the parking lot that's depicted there, is that the one that's proposed, the expansion?
That is the proposal that we have the application and everything, yes.
Okay, the reason I bring this up, when we talked about storage before, a couple of folks in the city, or I'm thinking of maybe 1 or 2, you're smiling, city council people thought it might have been, how do I put this? An eyesore next to a
Can I help?
Yeah, go right ahead, Jody.
If you won't mind. So basically, it's a storage building, if you will, and it's going to have the same design and kind of flow as the transit center itself. So the design itself will be complementary.
Okay, yep.
And we did go through a public meeting, and we did go through the questions and so forth of particular individuals that may have not understood what we were doing. So as Chad pointed out, this is for storage for our equipment, and so therefore it had to be approved by KMPO, KCAT, and then also it went for, as I mentioned, public comment, and we did receive comments, but we've addressed all those.
Okay, fair enough. Questions? Leslie, Bill?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I do not have anything more at this time.
And most of the funding, if not all,
Yes,
is federal?
yes. With the cash. Yep.
From the jurisdiction's cash match. Okay, good. Okay. Thank you. Public comment? Hearing none. 1:23, meeting adjourned. Thank you.